You are going to receive an incredible manifesting opportunity with the solar eclipse that we have on October 14th. Now, this happens at 1:55 p.m. New York, 4:55 p.m. Los Angeles, 6:55 p.m. London, and on October 15th in Sydney at 4:55 a.m. The eclipse is a portal, so we'll feel this energy weeks before and for weeks after. Keep in mind that this is the first of two eclipses. We have another eclipse at the end of October. And so even if you're watching this at a later date, you can still leverage this powerful energy. Why is manifesting more powerful during solar eclipses? It's because the sun and the moon come together as one, which creates a burst of energy. Think about nuclear fusion. When two atoms come together, it creates a burst of excess energy. It's the same thing that's happening. And so when the electromagnetic field of the moon and the sun come together, that causes changes to our Earth's electric charges within our atmosphere. And so this is proven by science, and this is the reason why I think manifesting with solar eclipses is the most powerful type of manifesting that we can do, because electric energy is all about materializing things. It's about action, it's about creating, and magnetic energy is more about attracting energy. And so with this surcharge in electric energy, manifesting is going to happen extremely fast. So be very mindful with what you're saying, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, because manifesting is going to happen much faster, instantaneously, 3 to 4 days before October 14th and after October 14th. Now, I'm going to share some rituals with you in this video, and we're going to explore what are the themes of this solar eclipse and how you can move through this solar eclipse and this eclipse season at large in a smoother, more graceful way, because eclipses are a time of intense, fast, powerful transformation that happens in a really short amount of time. And that's why eclipse season is usually seen as a very chaotic, intense time, because a lot of stuff happens in a short amount of time. So hey, if you're new here, my name is SolTara and I'm a medium, and I share wisdom and techniques from Atlantis and ancient Egypt. So if that resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe, and let's get into it. So this solar eclipse is also a new moon. As we know, new moons enter us into a new cycle, a new phase. We just had the equinox in September, and with the equinox we started a new season, fall in the northern hemisphere and spring in the southern hemisphere. Now what this solar eclipse is inviting us to do is to embrace new expressions of ourselves. Now you have to understand that eclipse season, again, it's about deep, fast transformation externally, but as well internally. So you are going to change. I can guarantee you by the end of this month, you're going to be like, whoa, I have this new personality trait. I can't believe I made this decision. And those are the two themes of this particular eclipse. It is fast transformation, which goes along with making fast decisions. Typically, when we make a big decision, let's say right now you're thinking about quitting your job or you're thinking about moving across the country, we usually take time to make these decisions. But in October, this is gonna happen in a really short amount of time. So embrace it, open up your intuition, receive the divine inspiration, because when eclipses happen, it's also when the veil is at its thinnest, which means that you have more access to your higher self, to your soul, to your spirit team. So they're going to be sending you information. So trust that information that's coming in. Trust your intuition, trust your team, because know that you are not alone and you are always supported on this journey. The second theme of this eclipse is relationships. Relationships are going to be the main highlight of this eclipse, and that is because within tropical Western astrology, this solar eclipse, new moon, is happening in Libra. Within sidereal Vedic astrology, this is happening in Virgo. With every single eclipse or new moon or full moon, you have to connect with the energy directly. Just because I'm saying, or another person is saying, oh, this is a Virgo, this is a Taurus, this is an Aries, Sagittarius, Pisces energy, you have to connect with the energy directly, because you have to keep in mind that we have different birth charts, and our birth charts means that we interact with these specific astrology markers in unique ways. So if you don't want to look at your astrology chart because you don't know how to do it, or I know sometimes it can be a little bit complicated, just sit and meditate with the energy. Relationships is going to be the main theme of this eclipse because Libra governs our relationships. It governs our ability to find harmony in our relationships and in the relationships that we have with not just other people, but with other things in our lives, like our finances, our health, our career, etc., etc. And what is so fascinating is that with eclipses generally always will bring things up from the past. And why is this so interesting? Because you are going to notice people from your past showing up in your dreams, sending you text messages. They're just going to be appearing in your thoughts, like out of nowhere. And it's because of this eclipse energy that brings up things from our past. Now, the eclipse at the end of the month is going to focus more on that karmic aspect. But what's also fascinating is that this solar eclipse happens on a Saturday. Saturday is governed by Saturn, and Saturn is the lord of time. Saturn governs karma, and so we're going to see this thing about karmic past showing up in our lives. So pay attention to the people who are showing up in your memories, because yes, it may seem super abstract and weird and random that this, random person from high school is showing up in your dream or in your meditations or whatever they appear into your life, but it is because there is something there for you to explore. With this idea of Saturn being involved in this eclipse, Saturn goes direct on November 4th. Now, usually we'll feel the retrograde energy a few days before, a few days after. Some of us, however, can also feel this a few weeks before the planet goes direct or direct as well. So keep that in mind. What is so fascinating as well is that Pluto is very active under this solar eclipse. Now, Pluto is the lord of the underworld. It governs the darkness, the shadow, the secrets that are brewing up below the surface. Pluto is all about transformation, alchemy, and it's also about secrets and power. So we'll also see that rising up to the surface. And why will Pluto energy be even more intensified? Because Pluto goes direct on October 10th, which is the 10-10 portal. 10 within numerology represents completion, like everything is done, ready to go. And it also represents balance because we have this 10-10, right? We have this perfect symmetry within this date that we have artificially created with a Gregorian calendar, yes, but also we are consciously creating that reality with a collective consciousness, because 99.8% of the world uses a Gregorian calendar. Even in Asia, where they use the lunar calendar to celebrate Lunar New Year, which tends to happen, late January, early February, they still use the Gregorian calendar. So it's used across the board, which means that it influences us because of the collective attention and focus and consciousness. Eclipses are always a wonderful time for us to practice shadow work. So looking deeply within our own shadows, our fears, and we are all shadow and light. There would be no light if there was no shadow, so we are a combination of the two. And because Pluto also governs the shadow energy, this is a really important time. If you choose to do shadow work at any point of the year, this is the month to do it, especially with the solar eclipse. Not necessarily as much with the lunar eclipse that happens at the end of the month, because that will deal more with like ancestors and ancestral karma and personal karma, collective karma. And so this is the time for you to focus on your shadow work. Take some time to sit with yourself, ask yourself, what do you really want? We said that this is the most powerful time to manifest with solar eclipses, but you have to understand that you have to manifest from a soul level. If you manifest from the ego, like, oh, I want this thing, do you really want it? Because that is going to create some karma. It's going to create some consequences. It's going to trigger a set chain of reactions, and you'll actually be like, wait, I actually don't want that. And so what's going to be really important, and the best way for you to manifest with this solar eclipse, is for you to sit with stillness, because eclipses are also a very chaotic time. For example, what happens during eclipses is there's no light because the moon is covering the sun, and we're gonna see a ring of fire in the United States. The eclipse path is gonna be coming across the United States, so the US is going to be really affected by this eclipse, and we're likely going to see this leading up to the election. It's gonna cause a lot of instability in the United States, but that doesn't mean you have to experience that instability. So because think about it, right? We are so used to having light. Imagine it becoming dark at 2 p.m. You're gonna be like, what the heck is happening, right? Like, you'll be freaking out because it's something unexpected. It's out of the norm. So what that happens is, like, it triggers our fear because we're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? There's a lot of uncertainty. We are fearing for our safety, which is normal because we inherited from our ancestors, which is in a reptilian brain, which biologically forces us to avoid darkness. So it's not your fault. Our bodies are biologically designed this way, but what we have to do is we have to work with this powerful energy of the body, because your body is the most powerful technology that's out there. It's way more powerful than AI. And this is where I invite you to connect with the Virgo energy of this solar eclipse. So again, in sidereal Vedic astrology, this eclipse is happening in Virgo, and Virgo governs the body and it governs the material. So connect with your body, move your body so that you can avoid that instability that you're going to likely feel anxiety, overwhelmingness leading up to the eclipse, because it's just so much energy. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, right? It's like nuclear fission, bringing the solar energy, the lunar energy together. It's just a burst of energy. So of course you're gonna get overwhelmed. Of course you're gonna be anxious. So move your body. And I'm gonna talk about the rituals in a second. Let's talk about this briefly, about the Libra and Virgo energies. So everything has a higher expression, or let's just call it higher and lower, makes it sound like a hierarchy, and we're moving out of the hierarchy paradigms. So let's think about it instead as a more expanded expression and a more contracted expression. So Libra, the expanded expression of Libra is finding balance, finding harmony in a way that doesn't require you to sacrifice yourself. This is a time and opportunity for you to reflect with your relationships. And this is so hitting me home right now because I'm actually recording this video. That's why the background's different, in my childhood home. So I've been interacting with my family. And if there's anything that's going to show you that you've really healed and that you've really evolved, is if you are no longer triggered by your family, right? Because those tend to be our deepest wounds. And so with this more expanded expression of Libra, it's about having this balance of giving and receiving in a harmonious way rather than self-sacrificing. The more contracted expression of Libra is becoming indecisive, becoming dependent. Like, do I give? Do I receive? In this like teeter-totter aspect. And so pay attention, are you embracing the more contracted or the more expanded aspect of Libra? And within Virgo, the more expanded aspect of Virgo is being very analytical, being very detailed oriented, and like crossing your T's and dotting your I's, because change is going to happen in a really short amount of time. Even though you're going to be making fast decisions in a short amount of time, you have to make sure you are grounded and you are very comprehensive with the decisions that you're choosing to make. Now, the more contracted aspect of Virgo is being self-critical or being over-analytical. Now, this is where we get into analysis paralysis. So again, try to embrace the more expanded aspect of Virgo. So some rituals for you to do during this solar eclipse is grounding. Grounding and finding stillness is a must. If there's anything you do, you have to ground, because again, this is so much intense energy. To avoid feeling overwhelmed, to avoid feeling anxious, move your body. Do Tai Chi, yoga, dance, jump, shaking your body. Literally just every 30 minutes, set an alarm on your phone for a minute to just shake your body, because we hold so much stress, we hold so many memories and emotions in our body. So we have to let that go, because there's a lot of cosmic energy flowing in that if you are feeling and packing all of these emotions because people from your past, situations from your past are showing up during this eclipse season, you're gonna just be sucked into the chaos to manifest in the most empowering way so that you get the results that you actually want, because most people tend to manifest things they don't want. I actually had a friend and she was manifesting love and she kept manifesting gay men or married men. So you have to be very aligned, you have to be clear on what you want. So take time to find stillness, go for a walk in nature, go to a cafe you never go to, and just bring your journal and just write down, what do you actually want? Like, why do you want these things? Because you don't want to get sucked into just manifesting things for the sake of manifesting, because you'll end up at the end of the manifestation receiving things that you actually didn't want, and then that's going to trigger other timelines, and it's going to trigger a set of karma that may not be in alignment with your highest good. With these eclipses, they're like portals, they're like wormholes that Einstein talked about. This is science. What I've noticed and what my students have noticed is that within these eclipses and with any new moon, full moon, when we manifest, then we will see our manifestations materialize at the next one. We're actually hosting a solar eclipse manifest and meditation. If you want to join us, you can get more information in the description of this video. The solar plexus and the throat chakra are going to be big energy centers for this eclipse in particular. So a ritual that you can do is open up your throat chakra. If you hum, if you sing your manifestations out, they will materialize faster. And opening up the throat chakra, you can use crystals to do this, you can use singing bowls, you can use alchemy to do this. You can watch this video right here that will show you how to clear your throat chakra. And we're going to be invited to express ourselves in a new way, a completely new way. Like I told you at the beginning of this video, the version of you that enters October is going to be a different version of you that leaves October. So open up your throat chakra. Share your voice. Sometimes it is by just practicing humming. Sometimes it's going to be singing, or it's going to be by expressing your opinion and sharing your opinion. But the throat chakra is going to be a big focus for us. The other chakra is going to be the solar plexus. And again, you can watch how to cleanse your energy body video. I'll put it in the description of this video, how to open your chakras using alchemy, and I'll put that in the description of this video so that you can open up your solar plexus, because after all, this is a solar eclipse and you must flow with change. That is going to be the most important thing for you during this eclipse cycle, to flow with change, be light, do not resist change, because if you embrace change, you're going to experience exponential expansion. And embrace this new expression that you're evolving into. Don't try to control, I need to know everything about all the changes that are going to unravel in my life. Thank you, alchemists, for watching this, subscribing, liking, commenting. It means a lot and I really appreciate it. It encourages me to make more videos. And I hope to see you at our solar eclipse manifesting ceremony and meditation. Much love.